Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And there's a Four of Cups. All right. That's interesting. We'll take that. That is not bad at all, but let's use that as our starting point. We're going to do our Dove and Serpent spread. Already a lot of air, a lot of water energy. A lot of air, a lot of water, a lot of air, a lot of water, more water. This is really, this is actually kind of stunning here. We have a lot of water energy. This is probably 99% water. We've got, well, before we get into it, let's select our mystery card. I don't want to forget about that. We're going to use the Smith-Waite Tarot. And this is one card that we select and we set aside. And we're going to put the frog right on top. We're not going to look at that until the very end. All right, so we'll see how that might, tie everything together, give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. So now let's look. We've got Major Arcana right at the top, very ambitious, very enduring. We've got water, 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 water. We've got air, 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 and air. No fire, no earth. Good thing we've got that Capricorn energy, because this is the cardinal earth energy. So it is fire and earth itself. So this kind of makes up for the fact that everything else we have is literally just air and water, right? But air and water, we can make some bubbles, we can make some things happen, right? I mean, that's kind of that's what champagne is, right? So there's going to be a reason to celebrate here, especially at the end with this Three of Cups at the end. That is the celebration that's coming at the end of this. To me, this feels very intense. With all of this water, it's something that you're deeply connected with. It's something that has just tremendous significance for you. Okay, well, let's start with the Four of Cups. I feel like you might be experiencing a little bit of an idleness right now. Not that you're not busy, not that you're not working, not that you probably have a million things going on, but emotionally, I feel like things have been better. Things could be a little bit better. It's not terrible. This is a boat that's out in the bay. It's anchored. It's not sinking, but there's no party on the boat. It's not sailing off to some exotic place. It's there. It's stable. Things are good. Things are working. But maybe we're getting a little bored. Maybe we're looking for a little bit more. Well, we're looking for a little bit more of this water energy, right? And I think that's why we see so much of it, is because we really want that. We want to pay attention to these different water elements. I think that we are trying to figure it out. We've got a Five of Swords. So with the Four of Cups is a stable, steady kind of life. It's maybe a little bit bland. It may be a little bit boring, okay? What we're looking for is then some fresh ideas. We're looking for some ways to kind of spice things up, right? We're looking to make it interesting. So we've got a Five of Swords here. We're trying different ideas. We're looking for that change. We're looking for that movement. We're looking for that breeze, really, that's going to get our sailboat now out of the bay, out into the world, traveling to that exotic place, traveling to that Three of Cups. Yeah. So I feel like what is happening next is going to really, it's going to be it's going to be something significant. Okay, we're looking for that great idea. We're looking for that fresh breeze, something new, something innovative, something different, something refreshing. Well, what we're going to see, I think, what's coming is really going to shock you. This is a Knight of Swords. This is fire of air. This is abrupt. This is swift. This is quick. This is the unexpected. Right, this is the shocking thing that's coming your way, and this might be really an unexpected avenue for creativity. It might be an unexpected opportunity for connection with someone. We do have some more air energy here in the position of your relationships, so it might really be that someone or some kind of, I feel a lot of charisma here with this Knight of Swords, kind of coming in and almost sweeping us off our feet, but we're kind of in this defensive position where we're not sure if we really want that kind of intensity. There's my cat confirming all of this. So I feel like I feel like this is a lot of intensity right here, and this person is just kind of rushing into our lives. It could be that we meet them very quickly, things start happening very fast, and it kind of puts us back on our heels a little bit, right? And this could be a romance thing. This might be finally on Dove and Serpent Tarot, finally we have the romance reading, right? The love reading. It could be. It might be resonating that way for some of you, but maybe not for everyone. Now, let's look at this other energy. We have a Two of Cups here behind us. And this to me, this is saying that we were at one point in our lives, yesterday, last year, whenever, we were so much in love with our life, with what we were doing, with our work, with our relationships. It could be a romance thing, it could be a love thing, but this feeling of being in love with what we're doing, with being connected, with finding the significance in what we were doing. Right? The life that we were leading, whether it's with a romantic partner or in career or in school or in your creativity or your spirituality, it doesn't matter. This is a love reading no matter what. Just take it how it resonates. If it's a partnership, if it's a business, if it's a, something creative. There was a point where you had this strong connection. Really felt like you were in this situation where it was reciprocating, it was mutual, there was love, there was affection, there was kindness, there was sharing. It was a real deep connection. It could be that we're feeling that stagnating a little bit. Now, maybe you were really in love with the work you were doing. Really in love with it. For whatever reason, now that Two of Cups maybe has been too consistent. It's gotten too familiar now. It's just kind of doubled into a 4, right? Not really doubled in intensity, but it's the same, right? It's just kind of more of the same. It's familiar. It's comfortable. And that's why we're looking to kind of shake things up. This air energy. The air that we see, which is what's shaking things up. We see this air, this kind of path of air right here. This is really shaking things up. This is like taking a can of carbonated beverage and shaking it. It's going to shock you when you open the top of that can of pop or seltzer water in my case. So we're looking for something refreshing. We're trying to find out what's going to get this water, get our ship kind of flowing again. And with the Four of Cups here, this isn't a bad place. This is fine. This is working. This is like you were at once just so in love with your job, but now it's just become the same. It's become familiar, right? You know what to expect every day. That's a good thing. Nothing to complain about here, right? But there's still that aspiration. There's still this devil energy. And this is the only major arcana card that we have, this devil card. This is showing that you're kind of like, you want to be tempted. You want to be allured. You want to be seduced. You want to be impassioned again. Yeah. Again, there's nothing wrong with the 4. 4 is perfectly good. With all of the air energy, now I remember what I was going to say. With all of the air energy here, this is telling me that it is a new kind of interaction with someone or something, either a new employer, a new field of study, maybe a new person, a new love interest. Maybe maybe you're thinking about dating again or something like that. But the air energy, to me, it's all about the interpersonal stuff. Okay, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be business, could be platonic. Okay, let's everybody cool down. I don't know why it's so polarizing. Some people really, really want the love, romance type of, dating, relationship readings. Other people don't want to ever see that. So it's kind of, we're trying to do something right in the middle of all of that, So if it's resonating that way, by all means, we have enough water energy here that, yes, this could very well be romantic, okay? We could be talking about your, so-called love life. But the water energy doesn't have to manifest that way, right? It can manifest in many different ways. But the key components here, I think, are primarily how we're going from a 2 to a 4. It's this perfect state that we had, and now this very familiar but kind of boring state. And then what we're really doing is getting to a 3, which is the dynamic state. That is a state that is active. It's not stagnant. It's not a static picture. It's just something, we've attained. No, this is an ongoing flow. It's a process. Yeah. It's a dynamic, moving type of water energy. And I think that's really what we want, because again, we kind of want this sailboat to catch a good breeze and start moving. We've got the 5 of Swords here, which is basically saying exactly that. It's a strong breeze that's blowing. But there's some other issues going on with that. We said with the Princess of Swords here, in the position of your environment, relationships, environment over here, that it kind of catches us off guard, puts us back on our heels. We're just not sure what to make of it. We feel it, we want it, we've got the devil energy, kind of, we really want to be seduced and impassioned, But at the same time, our rational mind is kind of struggling with it a little bit, saying, well, we've got this 4 of Cups. It's pretty good. Why are we going to risk it? Why are we going to go and do something, a little bit more risky or uncertain, right? When we've got something that's already pretty stable. The 4, very stable card, You've got a 4 of Cups. You don't want anything to kind of come in and rock the boat, right? But in this case, I think maybe we kind of do. And there's some issue going on in your own mind, your own kind of conscience, I guess. We see, I don't know what I'm scraping down there. We've got a 2 of Swords also that's at the bottom of things. And this is our inability to really make a decision. The 2 down here is saying, that you kind of go back and forth. You're kind of vacillating on this, right? Whether or not this is something that we really ought to be doing, right? We got a 2 and a 5. The 2 is kind of keeping us in this state, saying, well, what we've got is good. But then the 5 is like, let's mix it up. Let's shake things up. Right, let's do something that's going to enliven us a little bit, like just wake us up, And I think really, we got to talk about the devil energy. There's nothing wrong with the devil energy. This is really our desire to go out and find that which really excites us again. If you're bored with your career, this is the card that says go out there and climb another mountain. Find something else to do. Find something that really is going to wake you up, make you feel alive, and give you that 2 of Cups feeling again. Right? If we are talking about a romantic relationship or dating or something like that, it's really the same kind of thing. You want something that's going to make you feel alive. And if your relationship with this person has just kind of stagnated and it's getting too familiar and too comfortable, we need some of this uncertainty to kind of mix things up. And now this air energy could be a lot of spontaneity. I'm not saying you've got to leave your spouse, you've got to leave your family. I'm not saying you've got to get out of your relationship or break up with the person. No, what I'm saying, we have to let this fire air energy in. This is the inspiration. This is fire. Okay, fire of air. This is spontaneity, if anything else. This is the shock. What can we do that is going to be like that electric shock that wakes you up? You know, like we need a kind of a relationship defibrillator here. We need to get things beating again. So whatever this is, now this could be literally another person. It could be another job opportunity. It could be a different, specializing in your field, or a new major at university, whatever it might be, a new creative medium. But this is whatever is really going to wake you up and get us out of this routine. Okay. There's nothing inherently wrong with habits and routines and that sort of thing. But when it starts to feel as if we're kind of sleeping through it, that's when I think it has more of a detrimental effect. We can have our routines if they're leading us somewhere, right? But if they're stagnating, if they're keeping us anchored, maybe we need some sort of a shock, some sort of a spontaneity, something unexpected. Okay. So I think that we want to act on this while we have the impulse, while you have the will to do it, while we are aspiring to this devil energy. Let's go be that devil card, right? Let's invoke this energy. And I know I'm going to get a lot of comments about how the devil is evil, but this is not any kind of sectarian or religious symbol. All right, this is that pure energy, that raw passion and drive, that we all have somewhere in here, And I think while that is here, if we're feeling that, I think we need to go with it, because I think what it leads us to is some wonderful stuff when we look at the path of the serpent. See, this is wonderful stuff. So whatever this spontaneity is, whatever this shock to the system is, this is what is happening next. This is what we need to look at and look for and accept. If this is a person, an opportunity, if this is us reaching out and doing something completely outside of our wheelhouse, outside of our comfort zone, then so be it. Okay. But we have to get over this Five of Swords as it manifests as self-doubt, as all of the reasons why we should not do this, right? We want this strong breeze to come in and get our sailboat moving. We don't want to argue against it. We can't convince the wind not to blow. You know what I mean? But now, looking at the path of the serpent, we start out with a Seven of Cups. So this is the warning. While we're doing this unexpected, we're accepting this shock, right? We're embracing this when it comes. And I think this is what's happening next. This is how we go from here to over here, is by this shock to our system. The first thing we get is this warning that says, hey, it doesn't just mean to go out and do a lot of, harmful things, or don't do all of these risky things that are going to be a little bit bad for you in the end. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to overdo it to the point where we're hurting ourselves, hurting others, or, destroying what we've built. If we've built a family, a career, a relationship, this is saying, look, don't go and throw it all away. Don't get involved in all of these, so-called risky behaviors, just for the sake of rebelling against the boredom or whatever. So I think there's a fine line here. You know, we don't want to sink into this, because this is kind of, this is almost like running away from the problem, right? This isn't that good, fiery Capricorn devil energy. This is just kind of masking our feelings in bad habits, right? These are those bad habits that bring us down rather than propel us forward. So we need to see through this, and this is also in conjunction with this 5, okay? This is representing our ability to see our life as it truly is now. Your mind's going to play a trick on you where it's going to say, no, look, everything is great right now, right? And I think we can all hear ourselves saying that, oh God, I love the way things are. Everything is so perfect. But if you really are honest and you really look, you'll see what might be lacking in your life, okay? Maybe this isn't resonating with you at all, I don't know. But we don't want to cover up our true feelings with this kind of just convincing ourselves, you know, trying to rationalize things, or to live in that illusion. This is a card that says, take off those rose-colored glasses, right? Let's take a real look at things and see what it is that you are really looking for. Because this is up here for a reason. This is at the top of the path for a reason, and it's the only major arcana card here. You're looking for a new way to express yourself, new forms of creativity, new forms of passion and pleasure and adventure, new ways of manifesting your will, your spirit, all right? We see a lot of resistance to that. Again, here's the Princess of Swords that is kind of back on their heels, defending, not really sure what's going on here. When this shock comes in, if this is a person, whatever this is, this spontaneity, when this starts to happen, part of you is going to not trust it. It's going to be like, oh, I don't know if I should. You know, it's like when a bee starts buzzing around, you're like, I don't know if it's going to sting me, or, you know, if it just thinks I'm a flower. So this is like that initial apprehension, the initial resistance, which is, I think, a natural reaction, right? A bee starts buzzing around you. You've got to convince yourself, just be still. It just wants to sniff you, and it's going to take off. I use that as an example because I'm trying to teach my daughter that. She loves to be outside. She loves bugs. And I'm trying to teach her that when there's a bee or something around, we have a lot of flowers, that when a bee is buzzing around, the best thing to do is just be still and be calm. It'll realize that you're not food, and it'll go in search of, something else. So, but it's that initial reaction, right? And the Princess of Swords is about that initial defensiveness. It's a defense mechanism. It's kind of instantaneous. It's a knee-jerk reaction, right? Something is kind of coming at your face. Your first instinct is put up your hands, you know. And I think that this is something that if we're expecting this, if we've done the work to understand that, yes, I'm going to allow this into my life, you can sense when this reaction is happening, and we can kind of try to bypass it, you know. But the next card really is the interesting one. This is the Ten of Cups. This is what, for all intents and purposes, is the perfect life. This is all of the happiness, all of the pleasure, all of the love. But is this really any different than the Four of Cups? Right? The Ten of Cups, in some ways, is just a Four of Cups, but on a bit of a higher level, right? You may achieve more, but you're going to have the same feelings of stagnation, of idleness, of boredom. So this Ten of Cups is in the position of what we don't want. We're not looking for absolute 100% satisfaction. We don't want to become sugar, because then we won't be able to taste sugar. And you're all about the tasting. You're all about the experience. You're all about the dynamic sailing and the adventure and the passion and the movement, right? Which is why we've got the devil energy up there. Again, it's kind of, this is the umbrella over the entire reading. So we don't want the Ten of Cups. Now, we want to level up our lives. We want to have more than what we had before, right? So we're going out in search of what is going to fulfill us. We're going out in search of meaning and purpose and passion and love and affection. And we're doing it in a significant way, a way that is going to be harmonious with our life and our world and our spirit, right? And that's why the last card is the 3, right? So essentially what we're doing here in this reading is we're going just from a 2 of Cups to a 3 of Cups. That's it. All the rest of this stuff is just details along the way. But this is where we're going. We're trying going from a 2, which is, hey, this was a good thing. You were intensely in love with whatever, with everything. And we want to continue with that, but we want to make it a moving picture. We don't want just a snapshot of it. We want it to be dynamic. We want it to fill every aspect of our life. We want to continue experiencing this in every moment, with every interaction, right? The 3 is a function of that love. So we want the 2 of Cups back, but we want to add that 3rd cup. Now, I know what you're thinking. I don't mean that kind of a 3rd cup, all right? We want movement added to this perfect state, this perfect relationship, perfect career or job or whatever it is. We want it, but we want to add it, we want it to be dynamic, right? We want it to be continually renewed through each activity, through each moment, through each interaction. Yeah. So the 3 of Cups is the real celebration. It's not just you've achieved something and there you have it in your hand. No, now we're celebrating it. We're thankful for it. We're expressing it through everything we do. We're giving out our love. We're giving it from our center, right? From the state of our being, and we're expressing it out into the world in a constant way. It's not just, again, it's not a static picture, if that makes sense. So I think this is really good. I think this is going to be very intense for you. I'm excited for you, but I'm also excited for this mystery card. And we're going to thank our frog for helping us out with that. We're eventually going to name the frog. We started to get some good names in for our alien. I think Mork and Bowie are some of the top contenders for the name. But we're going to keep getting some suggestions, so leave some comments to this video. Let me know what you think we should name the alien. And eventually we'll do the frog, but we're going to narrow it down for the alien, and we're going to get, eventually we're going to get a poll out to everyone to kind of, to choose from the top 3 or 4 names of what we should stick with at the end. And then we'll move on to the frog. So not the frog yet. We're still working on the alien. Now, mystery card. I want fire or earth, obviously, because we don't have much of that. We've got fire and earth here. We've got fire and air here. So I'm thinking we need another earth card. And yeah, we've got a 5, or no, sorry, 6. 6 of Pentacles. This is good. This is good because what we ended with was a 3, right? So now we're kind of taking that function of giving, of expressing our love, our water energy, right? Our appreciation, our kindness, our sense of connection, the meaning and significance that we feel is now become a part of our everyday life, of our process, of our movement, right? And I think with the 6 of Pentacles, we're getting that back from the world, right? And I know this card is kind of interesting with the imagery showing that we are, essentially that we feel so much abundance that we are now, we're now sharing it and giving away some of our abundance, right? And it makes sense in a way where we feel fulfilled to the point that we're making those connections with the world around us. I don't know if I really agree with this imagery, because it seems like we're giving out our abundance as charity, right? Really, you can have whatever opinions you want about that. But with the Six of Pentacles, to me, is a cooperation. To me, it is a static picture, but it's one that has the hidden function implied in it. Because what the six really is, and I wish we had another six on the table that I could show you, but in the Thoth deck, the sixes are all circles, right? And really what it represents is a hexagram, a planetary hexagram of 6 points. And in astrology, or in the Hermetic esoteric traditions, the hexagram is a symbol of the planets, right? Planetary energy. But there's 7 sacred planets, right? But a hexagram's only 6 points. So there's that hidden center, which is the sun, which is the source of it all, which is the awareness, the clarity. It is the life that's at the very center of this world that you've created. So the Six of Pentacles is your kind of perfect life, right? With that function, with you interfacing with it implied in the very center of that. Right? You're the seventh planet. You're the sun about which all of the other planets are revolving. So there's infinite motion there. So I like that this card is our confirmation card, because it shows that you're achieving a life that is very satisfying. It's kind of like you're getting all the best things of the Ten of Cups, but we're keeping it moving, right? It's almost as if if we could have an 11th cup, right? Then that would be similar. That'd be very similar energy to the Six of Cups, because there's that implied 7th planet here, which the sun is not a planet. Yeah, I know. But this is what keeps the whole system moving, right? And this is your awareness. This is the success, the achievement, the confidence that you feel that now you are living your best life. You don't have your best life. You're living it. See, it's a verb. It's active. It's dynamic. It's moving, right? I hope that makes sense. But also this card, yeah, it's about sharing your wealth too. So anyway, we're going to do an extended Gemini. If you'd like to stick around, just click on the link that's right here. You'll have access to all of the extended readings, not just Gemini, but for every sign. Hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you for letting me read for you, and thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.